You know those really unique point of view videos you see online? The ones that make you stop scrolling and wonder, how on earth did they even make that? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a pretty incredible process. How you can take one simple idea, just a single sentence, and turn it into a full blown animated video using AI.
So let's just start with that big, kind of mind blowing question. Could a single sentence, one little spark of creativity, actually be the seed for a viral video? I know it sounds like straight up magic, but as we're about to see, it's becoming very real, all thanks to some clever automation.
Okay, let's get into it. What we're talking about here is what you could call an automated workflow, or maybe an AI agent. The best way to think of it is like a digital assembly line. You build it once, and from then on, you just feed it a simple idea, and it handles everything else, spitting out a unique video completely from scratch. And this isn't just some theoretical idea either. This is a practical system that creators are building and using right now. So let's break down exactly how this content machine actually works. I mean, just look at what this workflow does. It takes your one little idea and then it generates a script, it creates an image, it animates that image into a video, and then it saves the whole thing and emails you the link. The process is completely 100% hands-off after that first step. Now, before we get too carried away, let's talk about the money side of things. The creator behind this whole explainer suggests that a channel using this method could realistically make around $150 a month. So it's really important to see this not as some magic get-rich-quick button, but as a real, tangible project with some modest but real potential. And I think this quote here really gets to the heart of the philosophy. This isn't about just copying whatever video trend is popular this week. No, the real gold is in learning the technique. Because once you know how to build these automated systems, you can point that skill at any creative idea you have, today, tomorrow, and next year. So how does this whole thing work under the hood? Well, we can actually break it all down into a pretty simple 4-step recipe. This right here is the secret sauce. Here we go. This is our AI assembly line broken down into the 4 key stages you see here: idea input, prompt engineering, image creation, and finally, video animation. The whole thing kicks off with step 1, the idea input. This is super simple. It happens on a form in a tool like N8N, where you just type in your concept. It can be anything you could imagine. Something like waking up to a Viking war in the year 2050. That's it. That's your only manual job. Next up is step 2, prompt engineering. Now, this is basically the art of talking to the AI in a way it really understands. Your simple sentence gets automatically zapped over to a language model like GPT-4o. And using a master prompt that's already set up, it blows up your simple idea into this rich, cinematic description. It's basically translating your thought into a detailed blueprint for an AI artist. And once that blueprint is ready, the system moves on to the next step, all behind the scenes. Image creation. That super detailed prompt gets fed to a powerful image model, something like Flux 1.1 on the Replicate platform, which then generates a single, beautiful, high-res image that perfectly captures your scene. And then we get to the final and maybe most magical step of creation: video animation. The system takes that brand new image and hands it over to a video model like Kuaishou's Kling. This model then brings that still picture to life, adding motion and energy, turning your original idea into a real moving video clip. So you're probably wondering, what does all this cost? And you might think it's expensive, but it's surprisingly accessible. Looking at the numbers from the source, you can generate about 14 high-quality images for $1, and you can create 4 5-second videos for another $1. So we're talking about just cents per creation, which is honestly just remarkable. All right, pay attention because this next part is the real key. This is the clever little hack that solves a huge problem that trips up so many people when they try to build these systems. Let's talk about overcoming the timeout glitch. So here's the problem. Generating a good AI video takes time, right? Sometimes it's over 2 minutes. But your automation platform, in this case N8N, it has a patience limit. It might time out and just assume the whole thing failed, even while the video AI is still chugging away, doing its job. This slide shows the disconnect perfectly. On the left, your workflow is screaming, "Error! I got nothing." You think it's broken. But on the right, you see what's really going on over on the AI platform. It's still processing. The two systems are talking past each other, and that's the glitch we need to fix.
So how do you solve this? Well, the solution is just beautifully simple. Instead of giving one long command that might fail, you break it up into 3 smarter steps. You tell it to wait, then fetch, and then deliver.
And here's what that looks like in practice. The creator just adds a little wait node into the workflow. It's basically just telling the system, hey, take a breather for 2.5 minutes. This gives the video model plenty of time to finish its job. And then, after that pause, a new command goes out to fetch the finished video link. Simple as that. Problem solved.
Okay, so let's zoom out from all the technical stuff for a second. When you put all these pieces together, you really start to see the true power of this kind of automation. So, to wrap it all up, what this does is transform a really complex, multi-step process into something you can fire off with a single click. This whole recipe isn't just for one thing. It's a flexible framework you can adapt to any idea you have. And it shows that the real skill now is learning how to be the conductor of this AI orchestra to create a system for making amazing content consistently.
And that's really the whole journey right there. From you typing one little sentence into a form, all the way to a system that engineers a prompt, creates an image, animates a video, navigates all the technical glitches, and then drops the final product right into your inbox. It's kind of incredible. Which really just leaves us with one final thought. The barrier to entry for creating truly compelling visual stuff is getting lower and lower every single day. The skill isn't just about execution anymore. It's about imagination and building systems. So now that you know the recipe, what will you create?